Hey everybody, Aaron Blaze here. It is April 21st on Tuesday. I always do that. I always think it's Monday. But
Might as well switch to Mondays at this
I'm a
point.
little out of breath. I just had to run to the kitchen and back. It's only 20 feet, but I'm fat. I had to get some water. Stay thirsty, my friend.
Stay hydrated.
But well, it's day 5,352 in quarantine.
Or at least that's how it feels like.
Or at least that's what it feels like. And had some excitement yesterday. We had a tornado go over our house and tear up a few things. That wasn't too. It didn't really tear up the building that much, but we did get some large branches that came down. So we got a lot of firewood now.
Yay!
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. It's it came and went before I knew it, and we had a tornado warning, and so I was watching the storm to make sure it wasn't going to hit us, and all of a sudden I realized it was hitting us, and by the time I was about to get the girls and go to the center of the house, it was pretty much gone. It lasted about 40 or 50 seconds.
Yeah. It was crazy is that, like, maybe, a couple of minutes after that, that's when the power went out?
Yeah, then the power went out. Yeah, I think it went further on, and then the power went out.
Yeah.
And that was out, for a while. But anyway, it was pretty exciting. Very exciting day. And then the rest of the day was bright and sunny and beautiful.
Yep.
So
I mean, I even went out.
Welcome to Florida weather.
Yeah, went from tornado to me going out there on a nice sunny sunset.
Yeah. It was crazy. But today I'm going to do some, because we're doing our Birds of Prey course. I'm going to be drawing a bald eagle flying through the air. Flutter, 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 flutter. And so I thought we'd have some fun with that. And there, my glasses are clean. I can see you now.
Are you sure about that?
But I want to remind you, I know I sound like a broken record, but due to this whole COVID thing, and we have even more jobless claims here in the United States now, people are struggling, and Nick and I really felt it was necessary for us to do our part and drop our prices. And so we've drastically dropped our prices on the website for who knows how long. For who knows how long.
For who knows how long.
For who knows how for who long. For how long. It's going to be as long as this thing's going. Our animation course is free. We've got all the brushes, all my Photoshop brushes are $1. The wolf set, or the dog or wolf, coyote, and fox set, I think is $3. There's just a lot of great deals in there. So if you go over to creatureartteacher.com, that's creatureartteacher.com.
Creatureartteacher.com.
Is it up there?
Yeah, it is.
I knew he beat me to it. If you get over there, then there's all kinds of stuff. So got to stay hydrated. Man, I sleep on my back, and I just all night long.
You just get all.
I'm so thirsty in the morning.
Yep.
I got out of bed about 35 minutes ago, so I'm a little rushed this morning. So I'm gonna draw straight out of bed, baby. Straight out of bed.
And I ended up waking up at around 7. Like, I went to bed at 9:30, 9:45, and I woke up at 7, got out of bed at 8.
Good for you, man. Wow. 9:30 you went to bed?
Yeah.
Did you go right to sleep?
Right to sleep.
Did you go sleep through the night? No waking up?
No waking up.
Man, I wish I could do that. Man, that's awesome. Well, we got Dustin here who sleeps through the night.
Hi.
And we got Nick Birch, my business partner and buddy, my little buddy Nick Birch.
Bloody old pal.
Yeah, he's in Sarasota, Florida, home of the Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Yes.
Well, aren't we all Florida men?
In a sense.
In a sense. We're the nicer Florida men.
Yeah, he's in Sarasota, Florida. And what am I going to draw? I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm drawing a bald eagle. I know, but I want to do a nice dramatic pose. Come on, this is fresh. I just got to think of it, man. This is
fresh out your head.
Yeah, I kind of want like a diving, stooping kind of thing. Oh, Nick, also a sound sleeper. kind of looking at.
Uh, David Enriquez says, "Thank you for the discounts, Aaron. I've been sharing your future art teacher site with my networks. I'm in the middle of a storyboarding tutorial with Lyndon Ruddy. Great courses."
All right. That's awesome. I'm going to go to Dustin's Mac Pro. No, not Dustin's Mac Pro. I'm going to go to some stuff over here because I know. Actually, I'm going to do it up here. Let's see. We are going to go to Dropbox. I got to pull up some reference. Reference. Come on, there it is. And there's our birds of prey bin. Right there, reference photos. Bald eagle. We got 13 of them. Let's see here.
A couple of people are asking for the bald eagle to be catching something out of the water.
Maybe. I kind of want something a bit more, dramatic. See my bird reference. Come on, pull it up, baby. It's only 7 megabytes. There it is. See, that's a cool shot that you got there, Dustin.
Ah, that one.
Yeah, see, I like that.
Thank you.
Very nice. There's one other one here that I like that you have. See, these are shots that Dustin has taken, and I can see. I like that kind of stuff too, where we're pulled in kind of from the side. I want to get the wings kind of bunched up.
Is that one of the ones I got yesterday?
I don't know. This is from the packet you just gave me.
Oh.
Look at that one. That's pretty nice. Dustin got all these shots out at the marsh where we live, near or very close to where we live. And Florida has. There's a good one. See, I like with all the feather detail in there.
Yeah.
Florida has the highest population of bald eagles in the lower 48. Outside of Alaska, Florida has the highest population of bald eagles. It's pretty wild. There's a nice one you got. These are all nice shots. I like these. We'll add our own twist to them. Look at that. That's a nice example of the wing. And how those wings work.
Nice bottom shot.
Yeah. Really nice example of the wings. Just opening up a few at a time here. That's a nice one too. Boy, I like that. See, you could have that. That's where he's coming in. That gave me an idea for something on the water. Because I can use this as reference, and he's coming in, and he's got his feet dropped down, ready to, and I'll put a little ripple in the water.
I actually have a different closer shot with his legs further down. He's closer down to the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I might just use that directly then. Let's see what you got here. Oh, well, there you go. I can combine the two. I don't want to do it profile. I want to have the wings out like we have on this one. But I can get those legs down. That's pretty much exactly how I was going to do it. And this is a great anatomy example of how the legs work too on an eagle. So that's awesome. Which one is this one? Is this the same? Oh, it's even closer. Well, looky.
Well, looky.
These are great shots. Really nice bald eagle shots that Dustin had. Oh, there's a good one. See, I like that as he's dropping in low like that. I just might get the wings up higher. I want to get the wings up a little higher so I can combine it with the other one. Oh, look at how he's looking down. That's cool. I'm going to close that one out, though. So you're getting to see a few of these. Sorry, Nick, I'll get right to it. Just want to get through these really quick. Oh yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, I think that was one of my first bald eagle shots, if I recall.
Okay, this one here, we're going to use this. I'm going to stick that right up here. I'm going to take
There
this
we
and
go.
close out of it. And take this one and shrink it up. There we go. Put that there. Twitch comment. I would love, let's see. Oh, Ann on YouTube says, your human anatomy course is amazing. Aaron, you are the coolest teacher. Well, thank you. I really like this one too. I'm going to shrink that up. Put that up there.
Colonel Newman says that we saw a ton of bald eagles when we did an Alaskan cruise. They
Oh
were
yeah,
like
you
seagulls
do
there.
see a lot of them there.
Hold on, I gotta fix this.
Yeah, I would love to get like shots of just all the bald eagles like that. I would just love to. They don't really come out that often where I usually walk. And
Oh, the bald eagles?
yeah, the bald eagles.
Oh, they're out enough though.
Yeah,
This is the one
either
I-
they're not really there or they are, but they're so far away. I get a hard time getting a nice up close shot of one.
Yeah. All right. Twitch comment. This week, Aaron Blaze finds out how many ways he can face his own mortality. That's true.
I'm immortal until proven otherwise.
That's right. Oh, come on. YouTube comment. Baldies drawing baldies. Yes. All right. Now that we got something in there, let's dive in. What's that one back there? I don't know what that is. Oh, this is, I'm getting prepped.
Prepped?
I'm prepping for, I just wanted to show everybody.
The
Yeah, so this is part of the, matter of fact, after we're done with this live stream, I'm going to be recording a lecture on the anatomy of a bald eagle's head. And we start with the skull. If you've seen any of my other animal drawing courses, I start with the skull and we work out. And so here I've drawn several skulls, and Dustin and I will be working on this. So if you were to take away the feathers, you'd have a very funny looking bird. It looks kind of like a vulture, doesn't it? Because vultures don't have feathers on their heads, and that's very similar to what a bald eagle's head looks like without the feathers. And so we're going to be building out the anatomy there, and we've got the front view of the skull here, and we're going to also have a 3/4 view, and so it's going to be pretty cool. And so that's all going to be part of the course, and that's just one bird that we're going to be having. We're going to be having, I think we're going to shoot at least 15 different birds. You know, you guys, I'm always referring to bones and things like that during our skulls during the courses. I've ordered an entire golden eagle skeleton. I decided I was going to go bald eagle, but then I went back to golden eagle because for those of you that are international, you probably have golden eagles in your area. They're the most widely distributed eagle in the world. So I've decided to go with that. Bald eagles are only here in North America, so I figured the golden eagle would be a better bet. But we got an entire skeleton completely articulated that we're going to be able to use for this course. It's very cool. But enough of that. Let me go back to this guy here. There we go. All right. Twitch comment. I would love to see you try Krita on stream soon. Also, I've been struggling with firelight as my light source. What tips would you offer to make it look more believable? Doing firelight is really just the color of the light, using very warm light, and make that obviously the brightest light source, and then everything else around it is going to be catching light from that source. And so that's the best advice I can give you right now.
With all the animated features being made live action, is there a classic Disney feature film that you would like to see animated, like 20,000 Leagues, maybe?
Sure.
Are there any others that you would want that you would like to see animated?
Hold on 1 second. I've never really thought about it, to be honest with you. And so, yeah, I mean, I think 20,000 Leagues animated would be awesome. So I want to put his body in a little bit more dramatic stance.
Dustin, can you shoot photos of the golden eagle skeleton from different angles? That would be very helpful.
That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Let's see here. Let's get this a little smaller. Might have them bent in here a little too much. Drawing a little big. Two quick questions. Will you create a video course on drawing elephants? Yes, we have that actually on the books. We are going to be doing that. And will you create a video course on drawing bison and buffalo? Yes, we'll be doing that as well. North American big game. So yes and yes.
Aaron, do you recommend to buy a camera to take photo references?
Yes. Absolutely. And get a decent one if you can swing it. Dustin will confirm that.
Yeesh.
Yes. Yes. So here's the anatomy of a bird's leg, of an eagle's leg. There we go. I wonder if we pull one leg in or stretch one out. I'm always trying to find, kind of I want to get a nice sweeping gesture to it. Here, I'm going to pull this, I'm just going to pull it in. I think that feels even better. So, the way a leg works on an eagle is here's the thigh. Just like us, we have a thigh. Here's the pelvis right here underneath the skin. There's a pelvis bone back here. There's a thigh that comes in. There's the femur. There's a knee. Right there. There's the shin area, calf muscle, into the ankle. Right here, and then the feet. So just like we've got all the same parts, like I always say.
Darnell Robinson says, "Hey Aaron, wanted to say thanks for choosing my suggestion on Friday for the eagle dragon picture.
Oh,
really
sure.
Glad you liked it."
Yeah, it was fun. That was a lot of fun.
My children are watching from all the way in UK. Ryan is age 10 and Zara Rose is age 8.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm glad you're here. So you can see when I start to draw, look how scribbly my drawings are. See, we make them really scribbly at first. I'm trying to find, this is me trying to find the right pose. Trying to find that right pose. And now, this is called, right along here, if you were to see the bird from the front, it's called the keel, right down the front. on a bird, it's called a keel. And the reason it's called a keel is, what do birds do? They fly, right? And so, what's the biggest muscle you're going to need to fly? It's going to be your pectoralis muscles. Those are the muscles that when you bring your arms in like this, those are the muscles you're using. Well, on a bird, they're super developed because they have to fly so much. And so, just like if I show you here on this skull. On this skull of a grizzly bear, what do grizzly bears do? Well, they don't fly, but they bite, right? That's what, they can tear things apart. And so they have this big ridge along their head. And that's where the muscle attaches to for their jaws. We don't have that because we don't bite down like bears do. And so they've got this extra ridge right here where all this extra muscle can attach and give him the power to bite. Well, in the same way that muscle attaches to the ridge on the skull of a bear for extra power, a bird has a ridge going down its chest that comes out, and that looks like a keel. And it goes down the front, and that's where all that extra muscle attaches so that they can fly. Okay? Even chickens, when we eat chicken and we eat the chicken breast, I mean, even though chickens aren't known to fly, they do fly. That's where that attaches, is right there in that bone. And so that gives it all that extra muscle. It'd be like me if I had a chest out to here, and I've got this big bone sticking out so that I could fly. Okay, so that's what the keel is.
For the Birds of Prey course, can you do an animation showing us frame by frame how a bird folds his wings?
Yep, we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be showing you how birds fly. We're going to be doing all of that.
What do you think about the show Green Eggs and Ham on Netflix?
I haven't seen it. I have not seen Green Eggs and Ham, Sam I am.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey.
Did you work with Glenn Keane on Marahood in Rescuers Down Under?
I did not. I wanted to so badly, and I just I was a brand new animator at the time, and I just that wing is up too high. I'm gonna bring it down just a touch. Get the perspective right. No, and I really wanted to, really badly. These wings overall, I'm feeling, are a little small, and I want to make sure you get his crop right. The rhythm of the body. Where am I? Oh, I'm going to deselect. There we go.
What kind of software are you using to record your screen? We are currently using OBS.
Oh, BS. No, we use
OBS.
ScreenFlow to record the screen.
Oh yeah. When we're doing recordings, we're doing ScreenFlow, but when it comes to live streams, like right now, we're live streaming through software called OBS.
Yeah.
Or as Dad likes to put it, OBS.
Yeah. It's where you put the right emphasis on the right syllable. Hey, Aaron, when I draw, I feel like I press down too hard in the early stages. Is that a bad thing? No. No. And if you think it is, then stop it. Just stop it.
Hi, Aaron. Watching all the way from Manila.
Right on.
I like to draw human anatomy, but I'm afraid I might limit myself to drawing just that. Is there a more effective way to get me started with drawing animals? Like, drawing animals is kind of my weak spot.
Well, just force yourself. Try drawing just regular animals that you see around you, like cats and dogs and things like that. I know there's a lot of cats and dogs in Manila. I've been there. I've seen them. Actually, not necessarily cats, but I remember seeing lots of dogs. And you know, start with the things that you know. You know, familiar animals like cats and dogs, and as you get better, then you can expand out to other animals. All right, I'm going to redraw his whole head a little bit. There's a lot going on in a eagle. One thing to think about when drawing birds of prey, you know, think of it as this wedge that comes in like this. If I'm going to draw it from the top. You know, think of it, you know, the eyes are here. Beak comes in like so. But think of this wedge. Think of it as a wedge shape like that. And then you can round that out. But if you think of that, then it'll really help you with kind of positioning the head. Like, what if you want the head to look up? Well, if you just do this, get this wedge shape, then you can get your eagle to look in any direction you want it to look. See? Just try thinking about a wedge. There's our wedge right there. Think of that wedge shape, and it'll really help you out. There he is from the side. We'll look underneath a little bit right there. So there's a there, like so. Get that wedge shape in your head, and when you can do that, then you'll be able to draw that head a little more accurately. Oh, there's the dogs. Barking at the mailman.
As always.
Barking at the mailman.
Birds are fascinating, and the way their feathers lie over one another is always something I struggle with, though, especially on the wings.
Well, I'm going to completely cover all that for you, and you're going to be completely educated on it. And I'll talk about it a little bit today, too. Sorry, I cut you off.
It's all right. The rest of it was any tips on how to get the layout right?
Yep. There's a specific way the feathers are laid out on the wings for the physics, the way the physics work. You know that ridge over the eye that always makes them look angry or very serious? That's called the orbital ridge, and that's there to protect their eyes from the sun when they're up flying. Flying high, man.
And Kendra Willifer is asking, how is sweet boy Achilles doing?
He's doing good. He's just getting up. He's just getting out of bed. Okay, so there's our, maybe I might just do this as a drawing today, considering how long this is going to take to paint. But I want to show, let's get into the wings a little bit. I want to talk about those. This is all going to be in the course as well. But let's start with the top view of this wing. You've got several sets of feathers, okay? And we're going to break them up. The two main sets of feathers are here. You've got this group right here, right there, out on the end, kind of like the fingers. Those are the primaries. Those are the primary feathers. And here, this group coming in off the back of the arm. Right, it's actually off the back of the forearm. Right there, those are called secondaries. Hey, it makes sense, right? Secondaries. And then underneath, or on top and underneath, you've got primary coverts, or coverts, feathers, and then secondary covert feathers, which cover them up, okay? And then back here, you've got a few feathers down in here, and those are called tertiary feathers. Very simple to remember. Now, what's happening under this arm, under this wing? Well, I've talked about it before, and you may remember, but for those of you that don't, think of an arm, a human arm, and you'll basically understand how a wing works. Here's the shoulder. Imagine this is a human shoulder right here. And right here is the upper arm, down to the elbow. On here, we're going to bring it down to about here, like so. Right up here. There's your elbow right there. Here's your upper arm. There's your bicep. Goes into your pectoralis muscles right there. Okay. Tricep muscle, which is the back of your arm. Here's your elbow. Flexors and extensors. Here's your extensors are on the top. Flexors are on the bottom. So there's your forearm. Okay. Right here. There's a forearm that's going up. Right here, underneath the feathers that you can't see, there's a thumb there. There's actually a little bit of a thumb. A little vestigial thumb. And then all the rest, right here, has basically gone down to about 2 fingers. The bones have all kind of fused. But right here, this is the wrist. And just like we've got 8 bones in our wrist. There's a bunch of bones right there as well. Right there at the wrist. And all the bones that the metatarsals, I think. Those make up the bones right there. There's a couple of them in there. And then you've got 1 or 2 finger bones. Okay? So it's off of this section right here, where the hand is. That's basically the hand. There's a thumb. Off of the thumb, there's a group of feathers that come off. And if you could see them you could see them actually from here. There's about 5 feathers that come off right here. Those are called the alula feathers. And they're very stiff feathers that they can control the air flow over the wing. And then right here, off of the rest of the hand, basically, down to the wrist, all of these primary feathers originate from. Okay? And then off of the back of the forearm, going into here, your secondary feathers are coming off of there. All right? So think of that. So that's how, just the way you can bend your arm, the way you can bend your arm around just like that, birds can do the same thing. Okay? The only thing they can't do is that. They can't lift their arms, their wrists up like that. But they can fold their wrists, and so any position you can imagine your arm in, like this, and having feathers coming off your arm, you can put that wing in that position. They can get in all kinds of crazy positions, okay? So it's very cool that way. Now the other thing to think about, here we've got these secondary, or the primary coverts and the secondary coverts coming back like so, like that. The primary feathers come in a certain way. Now if you're looking under the wing like we are here, this is the underside of the wing, obviously. The primaries come in and they fold. The first one goes under the next one behind it. And you'll see that they've got this funky shape. This helps air flow between them and gives them extra lift and extra thrust when they fly. We've got these long feathers. Actually, I got to pull back on these secondaries and pull back here. Bring them back to about here, actually. I mean, the primary coverts. Bring them back here. And then you've got this leading edge. You've got the shaft of the feather really close to that leading edge. Now, why would that shaft be so close to that leading edge? Well, think of it this way. If we looked at this feather, if we looked at these feathers from the end, looking straight down the feather, you'd have a shape like this. The feathers grow off this way. Let me pull this up a little bigger. The feathers grow off in this direction, and the shaft is right here, right? We're looking straight down. Well, what is that shape create? Well, it creates an airfoil. If you look at an airplane wing is shaped like this. The same exact shape, see? It's the same shape. Here's, looking down the edge of straight down an airplane wing, you see this shape. You look down the end of a feather, and it makes this shape, and then you look down the end of the wing, and it makes this shape again of the bird's wing. And so it's amazing how nature has found the physics in order for it to create lift. Now, one thing I didn't explain is, why are these feathers overlapping in this way? Why do they overlap with the first feather going under, the next feather going under, and so forth, all the way back? Well, if you think about how a bird flies, when they take off, that downstroke, there's a lot of power in that downstroke. That's where they get all their thrust. And so in that downstroke, they need that air, they need to have as much air to push against as they can. And so when they're pushing down, the way the feathers are aligned one under another, they're pressed together to make like a big flap, like a big wing. But when you pull that wing back up for the next drive, you don't want a lot of resistance, right? And so if the way that they're organized, when you pull the wing up, the airflow separates them, and the air can flow through, and there's less drag. And so then when the wing pushes back down again, those feathers are pressed together again, and that's how the bird gets its power. Every single bird that flies has the feathers aligned in this way. Every bird. And also on especially in birds of prey like this, there's usually about 10 to maybe 11 or 12 primaries. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that. Boom, right to the corner. So there you go. And so now, when you're drawing your bird and you're drawing the other wing, you want to make sure that wing goes under the right way. All right. Twitch question, could you do a hippo with 2 giraffe heads for your next request stream? We'll think about it. That's a very unique request. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. And yes, the feathers change shape.
How many years have you been drawing for?
I'm 52 years old, and I've been drawing since I was about 2. If not, actually even younger than that. I've been drawing for 51 years. It's very stuffy in here.
Very stuffy.
Are you hot?
I'm fine. Just actually got a bit of a headache.
Oh, go get some medicine. Dustin's gonna take a little time off and go get some medicine. We got some medicine in the kitchen.
Yeah, sometimes if I sleep for too long, I end up getting a headache.
Hi, Aaron. Who animated Timon for The Lion King? That would be Mike Surrey. Mike Surrey, a brilliant animator. An all-around super nice guy. Animated Timon for the Lion King. It's Mikesurrey, Mike Surrey. Canadian gent. Awesome animator. He's actually a brilliant animator. I was always very, admired his work and really used it as inspiration. His drawings are so appealing. Even the covert feathers are they're laid out in the same way. Now here with the thigh, you don't see the thigh like this. You just see this part of the leg coming down. And so when a bird is flying, they're really just tucking their legs up. So if I blow this up, this is turning into more of an anatomy lesson than doing a painting, but that's okay. So if we have a bird, that's flying along, and you see the feet are tucked in back here, well, what's going on? Well, this is what's going on. You've got the knee, the thigh like this, and then they pull their feet up like so, and then turn them in like this. So you've got this knee here, and the feet just kind of curled up. There's your. So if you draw the leg coming down, you got the feet like that. And here, the feet are just kind of turned in. Oh, I'm sorry, got it wrong. I missed an entire section of the leg. It comes up like this, with this. There's the ankle, like that. And then the legs are turned in like so. So you got this. All right, and then so the body's coming down. What you're seeing is this part of the feet, just like so. You get it? Get it? Got it? Good. But what happens here is right along here. There's a lot of feathers that overlap the thigh, and so you really don't see that there's a thigh there. All you see is this knee coming down.
Can you save the stream? I'm skipping an online class.
Huh?
Can you save the stream?
Yeah, our streams are always saved. They're always saved. They come up on YouTube. So go to my YouTube channel and they'll be there.
And which ones are the primaries and secondaries? Can you outline them in different colors for us?
Primaries are the main feathers. That's why they're called primary. So those are the main flight feathers. These are the primaries right here. Right there. Those are the primaries. These are the secondaries. Right there. Okay? Primary coverts are on the the line, the base of the main primary feathers. Secondary coverts line the base of the secondary feathers. Twitch question, Heron, do you know a way to show volume in forms? I really struggle with that, and it makes my drawings look really flat. It makes fur or feathers really flat and not right. Yes, you show volume through light. Light is what gives us volume. When we see light and shadow, that tells us the volume. So you have to understand light. I've got an entire course on my website that's on sale, by the way, on how to paint light, because light is the only thing that tells us the form of something. If you go out, there's one time I went out and I was snowboarding in Colorado, and there was flat light on the snow, meaning the snow is absorbing all the light, and there was no highlights and no shadows. Even where the hills were going like this, I couldn't tell. And so everything blended together. I had no sense of form to the hill. And as I snowboarded down the hill, I kept hitting bumps that I didn't see, and it was really hard because I needed to see the form. And so light is what gives us form. wrong color. I drew the wrong color.
Drew the wrong color. Sorry if I missed it, but how many secondary feathers are there usually on a raptor?
I'm trying to remember. I think I'm going to count on the eagle. 1, 2. It's usually another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, or 11. It's usually another. It's like 10 and 10 is usually the way they do it. The way they do it.
Is the way we do it.
So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, baby, I nailed it. There we go.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. So, there's our little anatomy lesson. And the tail spreads the same way with the same logic of how they overlap. So if you look at the top view of the tail, there's one feather, like so, that sits on top, and the other feathers come out like so. That's the top view. Top view. For the same reason, when they spread out, you want, and I can't remember off the top of my head how many tail feathers there are. I should know, but I can't remember. That one I'll have that information when I get back to there. So there's your tail. Alright?
Right.
So now let's knock that back. We'll throw some color on this. We'll get a little painting out of it. Is it 50% gray the background? Do you suggest using the color like dark brown that some artists use? I like using gray. It's not really 50%. I usually grab it around maybe 40%. So once again, here's the orbital ridge. There's another thing too. Eagles, just like owls, we're going to be covering owls in this course as well. Owls can't move their eyes. They can't like we can, we can look around. And it's because they have a bone in their eye, the skiller eye, the skiller bone, I can't remember. I got to pull it up again. But it's a bone inside the eye that holds the eye in place. And it's usually for animals that have exceptionally large eyes or their eye is not round. Some eyes are like long shaped. And so this bone holds the eyes in place. And so it's the same thing with eagles, birds of prey. They can't move their eyes either. And so they make up for that by having extra vertebrae in their neck, so they can turn their heads, an extra distance. There's certain fish and reptiles that have this bone as well.
What brush do you use?
This is a brush that I made several years ago that I just love, and it's a great sketching brush.
Ludmil says, is this the sclerotic bone?
Yes, thank you, the sclerotic bone. Thank you, Ludmil. Ludmil, you're here. That's awesome. Libby asks, my brother, have you ever, I just lost that one. YouTube question, have you ever drawn prehistoric birds like forest for rockets? No, I haven't. I've drawn a few uh, prehistoric animals, but by no means am I an expert at it. I keep getting a lot of requests to do courses on prehistoric animals, but I don't have the knowledge. Have to educate myself, educate myself on it,
Or find someone that specializes in it.
or find someone that specializes. Yeah, exactly. Got to give him a little more forehead. There we go. That feels better. Have you ever worked with Press Romanios? I'm a big fan of his work. Actually, Press Romanios and I were best friends. We were very close. I mean, a lot of people were great friends with Press. Here in Florida, Press and I were neighbors, and we were very, very close. And then we moved. He moved before me, but I had to move back to We had to move to California, and he was my neighbor in California as well. And so we were very sad when we lost Press. But he was a very good friend of mine, and we were very close. YouTube question. Hey Aaron, do you have any advice on how to pace yourself? I have a lot of ideas and I tend to get inspired to do big projects, but I start animating way too early and then my motivation dies. Yeah, that's just, it's having the maturity level. It just takes time to you got to do you got to understand the process and trust the process, and don't deviate from the process. Jumping in too early always is a mistake on any given step, and it will cause you to lose interest for one thing, like you were just talking about, and it'll cause you to do way more work than you need to as well, because you'll end up making mistakes along the way. But if you trust the process, you'll avoid a lot of those mistakes. And storyboarding, if you can storyboard the whole thing before you animate it, you'll make a lot of great discoveries along the way. And you'll end up with some really great stuff. Libby asks, my brother wants to buy a camera for hobby photography. He will mostly be doing landscapes, not animals necessarily. Do you have any reasonably priced recommendations? Thank you. Dustin?
I would say either Canon Rebel T6 or
Canon Rebel T6
or a Sony A6000. And with either of those, a kit lens of 18 to 55 millimeter lens. And each of those can range around, the whole camera kit can range around $400 to $600, give or take. And yeah, I think that'd be a good start, especially the Sony side. I'm a Sony guy.
Well, there you go.
But I started with Canon, so that's why I had to put that out there. And then once you get on the camera, if he's interested in landscape stuff, just tell him to look up landscape photography on YouTube, so I can understand how to get some good landscape shots. How large is your animation team usually?
How large is an animation team?
Yes.
Well, if we're doing features, the team is usually about 350 people. Up to about 350 people. And also depending on the time schedule. If it's a longer schedule, I don't need as many people. If it's a tighter schedule, then we need more people to do it quicker.
And isn't the full team divided into like smaller groups of like 5 to 10?
No, not necessarily. I'm like for animators, there might be 40 animators. We might have 15 layout people. Yeah, they are subdivided into different groups, but The number of those people can vary. Might have, 3 people in camera.
Can owls turn their head 180 or 360?
They can't turn 360. They can turn it about. They can go more than 180. They can turn it, I think, about 270 degrees. And where we have only 7 vertebrae in our neck, birds of prey can have from 9 up to 14 vertebrae in their neck, and that helps them turn their heads more. One thing I did was I gave them too much mouth. There we go.
The last live stream you mentioned was your Disney anniversary. What did you do on your first day?
I got oriented to the Disney ways of doing things.
That's fun.
It's called traditions. And you have to, everybody that starts at Disney has to go through that class. It's the Disney history and how they do things around there.
How long does each slide normally take you for something similar to this?
Usually about what? Once we get on a roll, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. The course is going to be probably 20 hours worth of stuff.
I think the slide is talking about maybe the animation slides. Like, how long does an animation slide take?
An animation slide. I don't know what an animation.
Or like a shot, like a frame by frame.
Oh, for animation, I don't know, a few minutes. There we go. These are all this primary culverts, all folded over the same way.
Yeah, she meant frame, not slide. So animation frame.
Yeah, usually it takes me a few minutes, depending on the complexity. And it depends on the stage that I'm at too. Because if I'm in the early stage of drawing, I'll scribble things out really quickly. Twitch question: even with good light and shadow, I find that my drawings can look flat, or at least not quite right. How would I show form, rotate objects, such as a dog's head, in my mind and draw them? Or is it simply a case of drawing from reference many times until you have it ingrained in your mind? That's exactly it. It's exactly it. You got to really draw a lot, and not just from photo reference, which I'm sure you didn't mean just photo reference, but from life as well. That's how I'm able to draw, this eagle, even though I'm still using a little reference, but I'm making up a lot of the pose, and it all comes from studying it and drawing it a lot.
Yeah, the same person that asked that animation question said, I bought the animation course you have on your website. I'm not super familiar with everything yet. Still getting the hang of things.
Great. Thank you for getting that. So we're just tying this down, but hopefully now you understand a little bit more about the anatomy of these wings and how the feathers and everything work. I'm going to be getting into it a lot more in the Birds of Prey course.
this is my old question, but when it comes to animation, all the animators have their own styles of animating, right? Some animate more loosely, some animate
Yeah.
more detailed.
Yeah. Absolutely true.
Did any of the animators have like a very weird method of animating, like something that was just out of the complete norm?
Not really. Not that I can think of. I thought everyone was pretty darn good, and basically did everything the same way. All right. So there's our tail feathers that are kind of coming to a point. We might let's do a couple, like where he's getting a little bit of lift.
Mari Barnett says a friend I worked with, Bill Haas, showed me
Oh.
Aaron's work. I have followed his work for years. And thank you for the live stream. Such a phenomenal artist.
Yeah, Bill and I went to high school together. And he was a great guy. Bill was an awesome guy. Bill and I went to high school from 10th grade, and then we went to college together. We were roommates our first year in college. Then he started, I got the internship, and then a couple years later, he got the internship. So we worked at Disney together. It was really cool. Let's throw some color on here, and then where are we at? Right at an hour in? Because this, rather than doing a painting, this turned out to be more of an anatomy lesson. About in there. Let's go with that. So, for those of you outside of North America, we have our bald eagle. This is our national symbol. It's a beautiful bird. It's not as big as a golden eagle, but they're more widely distributed here in the United States than a golden eagle.
Don Higgins says, when I work with young artists, I tell them to have something to draw with or on always, because you never know when inspiration will hit. What is the craziest thing you've ever had to draw on when Sketchbook was not available?
Oh, just, I don't know, pieces of cardboard, or I've always got something. I can't think of. I can't think of. I may have used my own skin, drawn on something just to get because I had an idea for something. Nothing super crazy that I can think of. Unfortunately, I know I'm making the story boring, but I can't think of anything like super crazy that I've drawn on.
One of my favorites though is there's a lot of those restaurants that have like the paper
Oh yeah,
paper tabletops,
yeah.
and you would grab the Crayola crayons and actually draw with the Crayola crayons.
Yeah, and macaroni grill and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do drawings of our servers and give them the drawings. And Disney character drawings. So here I'm just laying in a local color, a flat, dark. Once I get this laid in, then I can vary it up a little bit. I'm going to shrink this image down.
I've been animating more with all this time we have lately. I find it tough to keep shapes consistent. Are there any secrets other than try harder?
Say it again.
uh, I've been doing a lot more animating with all the time that we've been having lately, and I find it tough to keep shapes consistent. Are there any secrets to keep it consistent other than try harder?
Yeah. Get in the habit of comparing, going back at least 5 or 6 drawings, and double checking against those drawings. If you can do that, then your shapes will stay consistent. Especially if you compare back to the original drawing. So just keep comparing back. Get in the habit of checking back. Every time you do about 5 or 6 drawings, check back to the last 5 or 6, and you'll find the inconsistencies, and you can make adjustments. Did you have second thoughts when you dedicated your life to drawing? I mean, all the risk going with it, job, money, etc. No, I never did. I knew I'd make a living at it no matter what, and I knew I'd be happy. But for me, I mean, I really had no other. I didn't have any other aspirations. At one time, I think I wanted to go into forestry, or I know I wanted to go into forestry, and man, there's one time I think I considered being a veterinarian, but I didn't like putting animals to sleep, so that went away really fast. And I wasn't interested in going to medical school. So yeah, art was always going to be it for me.
Do you usually carry a sketchbook when you go out?
If I'm on vacation, I always do. I don't always carry a sketchbook when I go out. If I'm going out to a restaurant or whatever, no, that's my family time. And but when I go to Europe or Hawaii or Montana or wherever we go, yes, I always carry a sketchbook.
Caroline just got on.
Hey, Caroline, how'd it do? So I'll get the yellow in here now. Yellow.
What was the best advice Glenn Keane gave you that helped you animate more confidently?
Stay loose. Stay loose, my friend. Stay loose.
Stay loose.
Yeah, the best advice he gave me was just loosen up in the beginning. Don't try to chisel those drawings out, because you got to find the animation, you got to find the emotion first. You got to find those elements first, and you can't do it when you're all tight and thumbnailing. Making sure you thumbnail everything. Thumbnailing is super, super important. Really helps you find kind of the roadmap for what it is that you're going to animate. So there's our basic color scheme for a bald eagle. We'll throw some
lighting.
Some lighting on it. A lighting.
Would you do a live stream featuring Crocodile Walk Cycle?
Sure. I've actually got one. I did a walk cycle. I think we've got a video for walks and I've got one with a crocodile or an alligator. I did an alligator. But yeah, man. Jaman. We be Jaman.
Don't forget to be a kind man.
So I'm going in now, adding shadows. Now as we get down in here, I'm thinking of the light coming in from the right side. The wing thickens up a lot right here because of all the meat, all the muscle. And then that head in shadow here really gets kind of bluish because it's reflecting back the color of the sky.
I know you usually like to use your friend's brush when doing local color. What's a good brush alternative that we can access?
Oh, it's this number 7. I love it. It's just if I get too big on the pixels, it's hard to.
So
Like
is the brush that you're currently using?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, this is
accessible one.
yeah, this is accessible one. This is my pastel 7.
Gotcha.
A pastel 7 brush. Plus, I do have some nice ones in my texture my texture pack brush set. It's just that I just don't have it loaded right now, and that's why I keep using my buddies.
Are we able to do a live stream or a future video on a walk cycle for a crocodile?
Wow, you're getting really specific on the crocodiles here. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Crocodiles walk a little different, lizards and crocs and alligators, and they all walk a little different than, mammals do.
Yeah, like they strip, like twist their bodies. And
They do,
everything.
exactly.
It was funny how for gators and crocs, how they, like on land they do the usual lizard walk, but when they go into water they just slide in.
Yeah. Can you please make a video on timing in animation? Hope you make it soon. Well, I do cover timing in my animation course. I do cover that. If you go to creatureartteacher.com and look at my animation course, I cover timing. Because you really can't do animation without having proper timing. So all that becomes part of what I cover.
After watching the animators in Lion King, I feel lots of them actually look like their characters. Do you agree?
I don't know. Do I look like young Nala?
No.
I don't know. That's kind of a funny observation, though. I kind of like that. I'm just getting some feather texture in here. Hold on, I'm going to jump over here. Have you ever drawn a thylacine? I'd really love to see a Tasmanian tiger in your style. I never have drawn one. I do believe that they're not extinct, though. I don't think they're extinct. I think they're out there. And I'd love to see one.
You once used erodible tip,
Erodible tip.
let me say, brushes, which I love. Can you create erodible tips? Currently, I don't think you have them.
No, I don't have them. And you know what? I've never tried to make them. So that's a great idea. Let me look into that. I will definitely look into that.
Will you participate on Mermaid?
Oh, yeah. I always do at least one piece for Mermaid. Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, do you have any Japanese animator that you admire? I don't know any Japanese animators. Other than Miyazaki, director.
Yeah, I love his work.
Oh, of course.
Good morning. How's Snow Bear coming along? I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it, too, when I finally get back to it. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Get some nice dark feathers in here. I'm going to go back to the local color and have some fun in that. Nick says, oh, we do have a crocodile in our 4-legged animation bundle, and that's just $3 right now. So, yes, we do have crocodiles in there. Thanks, Nick.
Kendra Wilfer says, my mom is in Fort Fort Myers right now. It's Alligator doing his mating call where they vibrate the water on their back. She
Yeah.
said it was amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. They get so deep and guttural that the water actually vibrates.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah,
like I've
seen
heard
them
the
do it.
sound before.
I've seen them do it in real life.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's one of my favorite sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just so deep and intimidating. And,
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's crazy in how they use that sound for Smaug's growl in The Hobbit.
Oh, is that what they used?
Yeah, they used. One of the parts they used was a gurgling sound of an alligator,
Oh, that's awesome.
or the mating call of that.
Yeah, an alligator call is pretty darn cool. So I'm just adding some variation to the feathers on the bald eagle. See, now that it gets covered up, you can see how all that anatomy underneath, especially where the leg is, all that anatomy gets lost, and it can be kind of confusing as far as what's happening inside the under the feathers. And these feathers here, I'm going to make them. Primaries tend to be dark.
Don Higgins says, you made a comment about the keel on birds, and now my mental idea of dragons has gone in a completely new direction. Thanks.
Yes, if you do dragons, if you really want it to be kind of physiologically possible, then give them a keel. Give them a big breastplate in order for that muscle to attach. It's one of the things they did really well in Game of Thrones. It was really believable that those dragons could fly.
Did they do the same thing for the dragons in Ring of Fire?
I think so. You got to think about all that mass that needs to be picked up. I mean, birds and eagles and birds in general, flying birds, their bones are hollow. They've taken every step they can in order to get rid of as much weight as they can so that they can fly better. Evolution has helped them out in that way. I'm just going to go nice and loose along here. There we go. So this is our eagle. It's not the big, beautiful painting I wanted to do, but it was fun giving you the lesson. So you can understand how those wings work a little more. Looking at, underneath, you get a little bit of color difference too in what's happening with the feathers.
What brightness level do you keep your Wacom at? I ask because wouldn't that change how you form the values?
It would. I think I'd keep it pretty much all the way up. Maybe it's just under max. I want it to be as bright as if I were painting it for real.
Have you ever tried 3D animation? And so, did you like it?
No, I haven't done it. I'm sure I would like it. I've never done it.
Would you consider doing a course on marine animals or underwater creatures?
Yes. We plan on doing that. Especially marine mammals. I definitely want to do fish as well. I'm just not a huge expert, and so I got to educate myself more. The stuff I do now is stuff that I'm a bit more familiar with. Like birds and and the mammals and all that kind of stuff that I've done. And so those are the first ones that I dive into, and then then I have to educate myself a little bit more, and then take that what I've learned, apply that to art, and then bring it back to you guys, and that's basically what I do on a lot of my courses. Schooling myself as much as I'm schooling you guys. See how that I start changing up the colors and the feathers, and you start getting a much better look to everything here.
How do you train your eyes to see the light and shadow detail so well?
Doing it a lot. It's hard to. I'm always copping out by giving these canned answers, but it really is just the answer to most everything is doing it a lot. You get good at it by doing it a lot. That's just the best answer I can give you. And the more you do it, the more you're more sensitive you become to the light, the shadow, everything. And the more confident you become, just in the motion of your hands, the act of drawing. You get better at it.
Dustin, did you see the Simba drawing of the animator from Disney? Yes, I did. I did see that clip. What'd you do, of course, on animating effects like smoke, fire, explosions, wind, etc.?
Yeah, we have one in development right now with a really great effects animator. A guy I used to work with at Disney. We're working on it right now to get it all set up. We were actually going to be shooting it, but then the coronavirus fiasco happened, and so now we're waiting for all that to be done, and then we're going to be able to shoot.
Yeah, the virus was like, you're going to stay inside. You didn't say the magic word.
So there's our eagle coming along, singing a song. I'm still just doing local color right now. So now let's go back to shadows. Shadows, there we go. I'm so tired of my chair.
I've looked at a lot of artists, and they say practice is key in everything. Practice, practice, practice.
Yep, that's basically it.
That's
And if you're not making mistakes, if you're not making crappy art, you're not stretching yourself. So get out there and make some mistakes. Stretch yourself. Experiment. See what's possible. See what's not.
Practice makes better.
That's right. Exactly. Not necessarily perfect.
Nope.
But it does make better. So I'm just going through now and kind of defining some of the darker areas on these feathers. A lot of the edges of these feathers will have lighter edges, and so I'm trying to define that right now through some darker work.
Should be a Disney movie about Corona. What would the message in that movie be?
Get away from me.
Get away from me. Stay away from people. They're dangerous.
Get back.
Get back, I say!
All these crazy folks here in the States that are demanding on going back to work, and I don't get it. Putting everyone in danger.
Hey kids, we're gonna reopen the beaches.
It's insane.
Like, it's not over yet.
Do you have any tips for picking colors? I always have trouble picking base color. I usually try to find colors that harmonize, or it just depends on kind of thematically what I'm trying to do. This is a shadow from the other wing. Depends thematically on what I'm trying to do. Sometimes I'll pick complementary colors, opposite colors, in order for them to pop off of each other. Other times I'm picking colors that are analogous, they kind of harmonize with one another. They're next to each other on the color wheel. It just really depends on what it is, the mood that you're trying to get across. All of that.
Are there any nature documentaries that you'd recommend for someone who wants to improve on animal anatomy? I'm good at cartoons, but I want to improve the anatomy and make my characters more believable.
One of the greatest nature documentaries I've ever seen. We watched it when we were making The Lion King. It's probably 30 years old now. It's called Eternal Enemies. The war between lions and hyenas. And we watched that for The Lion King. And it's the Roberge couple of French cinematographers. And it's insanely good.
Have you ever considered doing an art collaboration, like Dustin drawing something and Aaron paints it? We did that once when I was in high school.
Yeah, we did.
Where I drew a spaceship and Dad did all the painting and lighting of it.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. We should do that again sometime.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
So there's our wings. The wings kind of came together there, eh?
Yeah, great nice.
After painting local colors, should I merge the layers together? You don't have to. I mean, you can. It's not going to hurt anything. But you don't have to. So if we turn off the drawing layer, what would that look like? There it is. There it is without any line work. The wings aren't bad, but that head looks like hell. All right. Let's get some. Actually, I don't like that. I want it to be warm. It should be warm underneath, reflecting the ground.
I don't like it.
I don't know yet. There we go. There we go. There we go.
You guys sound like you'll be fun to hang out with. No, we're terrible. Stay away from us. Get back. Get down.
So, let's just do a little bit of detail on those feathers. Twitch comment, Aaron reminds me of a beautiful seahorse sailing the seven seas. Well, I don't know what to say. Thank you.
What do you think it's better? Draw from photo or draw from artist reference? I actually always draw from photo since the beginning, but I don't know if I'm improving the right way.
Well, drawing from life is always the best. So if you can draw from life, do that. But I mean, I get inspiration everywhere from other artists. I don't necessarily copy the work of other artists, but I certainly get inspiration from other artists and look at how they do things and try to emulate that. So here I'm just throwing in some, I'm not going to be super meticulous with the feathering, but the edges of the feathers are kind of lit, not lit, but lighter. There we go. Yeah.
Walter. Hey, jerky. He commented.
Walt Yoder?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Walter
Hey, Walt.
Yoder. So everybody in the rest of the world, we got Walter Yoder on. He's Disney rigger extraordinaire, genius, good friend,
And a party animal.
a party animal. Not necessarily. Don't say that. You're talking to the world. You got to keep some things private.
So it's true. No, but he's awesome. I actually remember my first time meeting him. It was during. It was when I was learning to be a visual effects artist,
Oh yeah.
and he and two others came to speak to the class, and the subject of you came up, and like, oh yeah, Aaron Blaze is a great guy, blah blah blah, and the instructor was like, well, that's Aaron Blaze's son right over there. And they just look at me and go, oh, don't tell him I said that.
Oh, I fondly remember those days.
Good times.
So here I'm just hitting it with some lighter with overlay. In the lighting course, you often lock your layers. What does it do? Locking a layer allows me to work within an area that I've already painted, but I won't go outside the lines, basically. That's what locking the layer does. So I can be a little more sloppy with it, and it won't come off sloppy. Go.
Oh, Walter says I also shaved my head.
Did you
What?
really?
You what?
That's awesome.
We're going to need some photo proof. Dustin, who are your favorite photographers? Oh. Well, right now.
You
For a
like
while-
Mangelson, right?
Huh?
Mangelson, the wildlife photographer? Or do you not know him?
I don't quite know him.
You're going to have to know him. You're gonna
Oh
have to-
yeah, definitely. But when it comes to wildlife photography, one of my favorites is actually somebody that I'm following right now, Jared Lloyd. He's a really good wildlife photographer. But when it comes to just photography in general, some of my favorites that are YouTubers are like Peter McKinnon. He's a great landscape photographer and just abstract photographer, and Manny Ortiz is a great portrait photographer, and then Jared Polin, who's really good at like following camera news, and he does photography too. He does a lot of he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything. But yeah, I think my personal favorite though is Peter McKinnon, especially his B-roll videos.
Hello, Aaron. Greetings from Poland. Do you know any Poles who worked at Disney or any Polish animators? I do not know Polish animators, but I do have a very good friend, Maciej Miskira, who is a Polish visual development artist. Should I study human anatomy before animal anatomy? You knock yourself out. I don't know. It depends on what you want to do.
Vedanta just said, "Sweet bird."
Sweet bird. Thanks, babe.
It is quite nice.
All right, just hitting some details on them, and then we'll be wrapping this up. What I do want to do is get right over the
It says not a photographer, but I love David Attenborough. Yes, I love that guy too.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Like, you make him a voice of a documentary, and the documentary is an instant hit.
Oh yeah. There we go.
I don't know if we've had this question already a few times, but sir, would you do a flight cycle course anytime soon?
The flight cycle is going to be part of the Birds of Prey course. So I will be hitting flight cycles in there, and different types of flight cycles as well. Not just one.
Yeah,
It can be,
because
how the bird takes off is one way, and
also like the landing and mid-flight. And isn't the animation of like an owl compared to like an eagle or a hawk different from one another too?
oh yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, sure. Caroline says David Attenborough, he's our British national treasure. We must guard him well. Yes.
Yes, you should.
Yes, yes, yes.
Trying to get the feathers blending in here a little better. A little better. Better. Better cheddar.
I'm enjoying quarantined commentators commentating on the things that their pets are doing inside the house. Oh, really, Venata?
What?
I wish I was there. She said a flock of whistling tree ducks just flew over the backyard.
Oh,
Darn it.
bummer, eh?
Bummer. Steve Irwin was a legend too with the animals.
Yes, he was.
But one of my favorite things that he would say to an animal he's trying to pick him up, I was like, "You're all right, mate. You're all right. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're all right." Now look at this little beauty.
His daughter just got married.
Yes, she did. Congratulations
Binti?
to her.
Binti?
Huh?
Is it Binti?
I think so.
Binti? What's that? I can't remember her name.
It's funny. I always forget her name, but I never forget Robert. I think Robert.
Oh, that's because you're a chauvinist.
Chauvinist.
Yeah, you're a chauvinist.
What is that? I honestly don't know that word.
You don't know chauvinist?
Nope.
Oh. Someone that disrespects women.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm a kidder. I joke.
It is a joke.
It's a joke to help you forget how screwed you are. Well, that's good you don't know the word chauvinist.
Is it essential to use a screen tablet? I use my old Wacom pen and touch, so I have to look into the monitor while drawing on the tablet. I don't know if I should order the screen tablet or it's okay to keep drawing as I do now. Could you give me advice, please?
I know a lot of guys that use tablets like you use, and they're perfectly happy with it. It depends on what you're happy with. I had a hard time doing that, so I decided I wanted a screen, a pen display. So that's why I did that.
Oh, it is Bindi Irwin.
Bindi, yeah,
Bindi, yep. Such a cool name, Bindi.
I know.
In your Birds of Prey course, are you cartooning each bird like in the Big Cats?
I might do some Birds of Prey cartoons. Yeah, we could do that for sure. Just getting a little background color in here. Whoops.
And so a little talk of Bindi reminds me of the meme post I've seen a few times on Facebook where it's a picture of her with the tarantula on her chest, saying like, "Oh, tarantulas just need some nice cuddles every once in a while." There was a comment at the bottom like, "Oh, like I was about to say blah blah blah, but I realized, but I didn't see the last name." I was like, "Oh, carry on."
What?
It was just how crazy white people can be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's your last name. Oh, you're an Irwin. Okay, you're good. Bindi was named after Steve's favorite crocodile, which I think
Oh.
is cute. I did not know that.
Neither did I. There. Anatomy lesson of a bald eagle.
The Great American Baldy.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
There. So there's our bald eagle. There's our anatomy lesson. Hope you guys learned something today. That was fun. Getting to understand how those birds of prey wings work and all the body parts and all of that. I'm going to sign off now. We've been at it for almost 2 hours, and I've got more recording to do. So we're going to do that. And we're going to be doing some more of this kind of stuff for the Birds of Prey course. So if you enjoyed today, wait for that Birds of Prey course, because we're going to cover eagles and hawks and true hawks and owls and caracaras and falcons and kites and vultures and all kinds of fun stuff.
Whole bunch of stuff.
A whole bunch of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back again on Friday. And remember, we've got that sale going on at Creature Art Teacher. There's a lot of great stuff. You know, somebody was asking about the crocodile walk. Well, we've got a whole four-legged walk bundle that's just a couple of bucks, and so you can get that over there. Plus, we've got our the animation introduction to animation course where I cover all the fundamentals, and that's free. So you can get that for free. All the Photoshop brushes are $1. So go over and check all that out. There's a lot going on, and like I said, that's going to be going on indefinitely until who knows? We'll see. When we come out of this Corona thing. But I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. I always do. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and put some beauty back in the world. Be nice to somebody. Don't spread the virus. Stay home. It's just going to be a little bit longer. Don't go out and protest. Don't be stupid. Anyway, be good. And I'll talk to you on Friday. Dustin?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if you're interested in any wildlife photography, if you haven't followed my channel already, be sure to check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaze. Again, Dust_Blaze, where I do a lot of wildlife photography, and I post a new photo each day. And yeah, I like sharing my stuff with everybody. And so, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe. Stay indoors unless needing to go and get something.
Food.
Food and all that. We need to get rid of this thing once and for all. So stay safe. See you guys Friday, and until Friday, Cowboy Bebop. See ya.